Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome you all for one another webinar of CEng, and it's a very important topic, that is anger management. And today we will be talking about what is anger, because this is there, this emotion is there in everybody's life, and we have seen the spoiled relationships because of this anger, uncontrollable anger, the way we express or the way we react rather than responding in the situation. So we need to know how to control our anger and how to express our anger and how we can deal with the angry people. So these are all very essential for not only a successful relationship, but also for a healthy life. Actually, our healthy body uh, gets corrupted or gets disturbed because of our unwanted anger. We all know what anger is, and we have all felt it, whether as a fleeting annoyance or as full-fledged rage. Anger is a completely normal, usually healthy and human emotion. But when it gets out of control and turns destructive, it can lead to problems. Problems at work, problems with your personal relationship, and the overall quality of your life also gets disturbed. And it can also make you feel as though you're at the mercy of an unpredictable and powerful emotion. We shall learn in this webinar to understand and control anger. So that is what is the ultimate aim of this webinar, and definitely I'm sure that you will be benefited out of it. Let me share my screen. So today is the CEEC webinar 38, anger management. And we all know about what happens before it controls you. We need to control the anger. That is very essential. And we all know what anger is. As I've been telling, like, what is anger? Every one of us, right from the kid, we would have experienced, and we have all felt it, whether as a fleeting annoyance or as a full-fledged rage. And anger is completely normal. This one should really understand that it is not abnormal and you're not abnormal. Definitely anger is a completely normal situation, usually healthy, and it's a human emotion. At times we really need to express our anger. We cannot just like that keep quiet. But when it gets out of control and turns destructive, it can lead to problems. So problems, as he said, it may affect your work or your personal relationships or even your own health and your quality of life. And it can make you feel as though you're at the mercy of an unpredictable, powerful emotion. So you have to be the boss of it, and you should not become a slave of your emotion. So that is what, and let us see what is the nature of anger. Anger is nothing but an emotional state that varies in intensity from mild irritation to intense fury and rage. Like other emotions, it's accompanied by physiological and biological changes. Definitely, when somebody is angry, we can see how it changes your physique, and how your face looks, and how your eyes look, and how your heartbeat is. And also you can see a lot of stress related issues that comes into your body because of anger. So you strain your voice. Actually, when you shout, you strain your voice, and your breathing quickens, and your chest begins tight. So when you are angry, you can feel all these things, and blood pressure spikes. Without our knowledge, we get high BP, and you clench your teeth. So you will be clenching your teeth, even that is not good. And your heart beats faster, and your immune system gets out of whack, and you feel a rush. So all these things are not at all healthy. So later, many people who come across this heart attacks and heart related problem and the BP problem would have got into an habit of throwing out your emotions as anger in different ways. So when you get angry, your heart rate and blood pressure goes up, as do the levels of your energy hormones, adrenaline and non-adrenaline also. So anger can be caused by both external and internal events. So anger can be caused by You could be anger at a specific person, such as a coworker or a supervisor or an event, a traffic jam. Like how many people get angry when there is a traffic jam and somebody who's not moving in your front, a car is not moving, you keep on horning, and you will get angry. And also where you are booked, you have booked a flight and you're ready for a meeting, but suddenly they say that the flight has been cancelled. So even that will make you very angry, especially to say it in one word. Actually what happens is, if you feel that things are not going on as per your expectations, definitely angry comes within. And you could be angry at a specific person, as I said, maybe a coworker or a supervisor or any situation. So or your anger could be caused because of worrying. Many people do this, and they keep worrying, they keep thinking about all the negative things happened in their life and brooding about your personal problems. There is no need that somebody should come and trigger your anger, but automatically when you feel a helpless situation, you automatically get an anger on your own self and also on the situation. So memories of traumatic or enraging events can also trigger angry feelings. And how do you express anger? This is also very important. Like how everybody will get anger, and everybody will become angry. As I said, it's a very normal emotion, but how do we express? That is what makes the difference. The instinctive, natural way to express anger is to respond aggressively. You just throw out words, you just throw out things, you break things, anything may happen. Anger is a natural adaptive response to threats. It inspires powerful, often aggressive feelings and behaviors which allow us to fight and to defend ourselves when we are attacked. A certain amount of anger, therefore, is necessary to our survival. Definitely, you should be angry. Otherwise, people will think that you don't have any emotions, and you will not get angry, and they will keep doing whatever they want. So we cannot keep accepting that. You need to get angry. But on the other hand, we can't physically lash out at every person or object that irritate us or annoy us. Laws, social norms, and common sense place limits on how far our anger can take us. There is a limit, because people will lose their temper. They will not even know what they are doing when they are in angry mode. So what to do when you're angry? Stop and think. Ask yourself, how does my body feel? Try to calm down by taking 3 deep breaths, counting backwards slowly, thinking calming thoughts, talking to yourself, and think out loud to solve the problem, and think about it later. Ask yourself, why was I angry? What did I do? What worked? What did not work? What I can do differently, and do I do a good job? So when you feel angry, sometimes it happens without your control. Later on, have an analysis on what do we do and how it works out, which works and which does not work. Ultimately, getting angry is not our intention. We wanted to change the situation, or we need to express our feelings, so that whether we have done it rightly or not, if we learn from our mistakes, at least we will not do it again in the future. So that we have to keep. And people use variety of both conscious and unconscious process to deal with their angry feelings. And the 3 main approaches, what I feel, is expressing, suppressing, and calming. These are the 3 ways actually. So expressing, so to do this, actually you have to learn how to make clear what your needs are and how to get them met without hurting others. So this is very essential, because when we are angry, we hurt others. Definitely it hurts others. And we need to express your anger feelings in an assertive way and not in an aggressive way. So this is very important in order to have an healthiest way to express anger. You need to be assertive and not aggressive. And respect yourself, and others will respect you. So being assertive does not mean being pushy or demanding. It means being respectful of yourself and others. That's very essential. We need human relationship, and we should not hurt anybody, because words hurt a lot, and they will never forget what we speak. And anger can be suppressed, and then it can be converted and redirected, and for which we need to be positive. So this happens when you hold in your anger, stop thinking about it, and focus on something positive. So that is the way. The aim is to inhibit or suppress your anger and convert it into more constructive behavior. So that is what you need to give some time, just as a few minutes, in order to suppress your anger and divert that into a very positive note. And your anger can turn inward. That is very, very dangerous. Actually, the danger in this type of response is that if it isn't allowed outside expression, your anger can turn inward on your own self. So anger turned inward, what happens when it turned inwards? It may cause hypertension, it may cause you blood pressure, and also depression. So unexpressed anger can create other problems too. It can lead to pathological expressions of anger, such as passive aggressive behavior, getting back at people indirectly without telling them why, rather than confronting them head on, or a personality that seems perpetually cynical and hostile. And other one is people who are constantly putting others down. We have seen this, the entire world has people like this. They'll be constantly putting others down, criticizing for each and everything, and making cynical comments, haven't learned how to constructively express their anger. So this is not the way to express your anger. You become very low in front of others' eyes when you're doing this. So see, you don't win by criticizing others. You don't win by making others low, and you don't communicate well whatever you feel by just humiliating somebody, or putting somebody down in front of somebody, insulting somebody. That is not the way to express your anger. The anger is actually to be expressed in such a way that people respect your feelings. So that is the way it should be. Not surprisingly, they aren't likely to have many successful relationships. If people behave in this way, never will they have any friends. Nobody will like to be with them. And finally, you have to calm down from inside. This is the best way to safeguard yourself from broken relationships and also from damaging your health. This means not just controlling your outward behavior, but also controlling your internal responses. Taking steps to lower your heart rate, calm yourself down, and let the feelings subside. That is very, very essential. Please do practice. And the goal of anger management is to reduce both your emotional feelings and the physiological arousal that anger causes. So you have to first of all safeguard yourself. Rather than we harming somebody or criticizing somebody or hurting somebody, we are going to hurt ourselves and harm ourselves. So we have to take utmost care to take care of ourselves, safety of our physique. And you have to control the reactions. You can't get rid of or avoid the things or the people that enrage you. We cannot do others, we cannot control others' actions at all. What we can do is control our emotions, our reactions, how we take it, how we accept it, whether we take it and take it personally and brood on it and spoil our health. It all depends upon us. Nor you cannot change what others are doing, but you can learn to control your reactions. That is what you need to think about. Are you too angry? There are psychological tests that measure the intensity of angry feelings, how prone to anger you are, and how well you handle it. Many interviews, there will be a HR round where they will trigger your anger. They will talk about religion. They will talk about something which will trigger your feelings and emotions, and you'll become angry. So you'll burst out. Your breaking point will be seen. So that is where you need to be under control. You should not take each and everything personally. You need to know what is to be taken and what is not to be taken. If something is going to damage your health, damage your physique, damage your emotion, damage your heart rate or BP or whatever it is, you need to keep that away. You should not take it to heart, because your health is very important and your emotional feelings are more important than anything else. But chances are good that if you do have a problem with anger, you already know it. If you find yourself acting in ways that seem out of control and frightening, you might need help finding better ways to deal with this emotion, because sometimes we know that we can't control anger. Always we will get angry for small petty things. So you need to take some measures to see that how it can be controlled. And why are some people more angry than others? We see, many people are calm and they will handle it in a very smoother way, but some people cannot do that. Always they will burst out. People will be scared to even talk to them, even in office or at home. Like in olden days, a father used to be very, very angry. I mean, maybe he pretends to be like that, or he generally is angry. Children used to get so scared. Wife used to get so scared. Mother used to get so scared to talk to the father. And all these things happen. Some people really are more hot-headed than others are. They get angry more easily and more intensely than the average person does. More intensely. I mean, the entire house will be in a terror. So there are also those who don't show their anger in loud, spectacular ways, but are chronically irritable and grumpy. Violent anger makes me physically ill. So that is a quote. This happens actually when you are very angry, you throw out a lot of anger. If you just examine your physical strength or health, you will definitely feel a difference, that you will feel ill. And easily angered people don't always curse and throw things. Sometimes they withdraw socially, sulk, and get physically ill. So this also happens. Some people may not throw out, they will not show it out, but internally they will get the damage. They'll keep everything internally, and they'll feel physically ill without even letting it out, because they'll be brooding it inside. And people who are easily angered generally have what some psychologists call a low tolerance for frustration, meaning simply that they feel that they should not have to be subjected to frustration, inconvenience, or annoyance. They can't take things in stride. And they are particularly infuriated if the situation seems somehow unjust. For example, being corrected for a minor mistake. What makes these people this way? A number of things. See, sometimes what happens, they are genetic also. Some people will have a genetic and physiological one cause, and there is evidence that some children are born irritable. Even at the small younger age also, they will always keep their face in an irritated manner, touchy and easily angered. And that these signs are present from very early age. And another maybe socio-cultural. Anger is often regarded as negative. We are taught that it's right to express anxiety, depression, or other emotions, but not to express anger. This is what we have been taught. And as a result, we don't even learn how to handle it or channelize it constructively. So when we are brought up, like in the childhood, the parents should definitely tell that this is an emotion which will come naturally for everyone. What you need to teach them is how to channelize it, how to handle it. That is what is very, very essential, because the child will not even know like how to channelize it, how to handle it. So it will go into depression and it will spoil its health. And the research also found that the family background plays a role. Typically, people who are easily angered come from families that are disruptive, chaotic, and not skilled at emotional communications. Many do not know how to communicate emotionally. So the child seeing the parents with so much of anger, shouting for each and everything, breaking things, like they will also follow the same. They feel that they should also be like that. So this has to be taken into a good lesson. And is it good to let it all hang out? Psychologists now say that this is a dangerous myth. Some people use this theory as a license to hurt others. Research has found that letting it rip with anger actually escalates anger and aggression and does nothing to help you or a person you're angry with resolve the situation. You just can't resolve a situation by just shouting at a person. It's best to find out what it is that triggers your anger. So that is what it is. Not born with you, it is not internally, it gets from outside. When somebody triggers, you get angry, and then to develop strategies to keep those triggers from tipping you over the edge. So you have to be careful that such things does not trigger you. And what are the strategies to keep the anger at bay? The first and foremost, the simple relaxation tools such as deep breathing, relaxing imagery can help calm down angry feelings. If you're involved in a relationship, this happens, like for youngsters, teenagers, when they are in relationships where both partners are hot-tempered. It might be a good idea for both of you to learn these techniques Another thing is like breathe deeply from your diaphragm. Breathing from your chest won't relax you. You need to breathe from the diaphragm. And also, you need to slow repeat a calm word or phrase as relax. Whenever there is a situation which makes you angry, keep saying to yourself, relax, relax, relax. That is very essential. You need to talk to yourself. You need to talk to yourself. And also you need to say, take it easy. Take it easy. Don't take it to heart. Repeat it to yourself while breathing deeply. And use imaginary, like image. You need to bring it to your imagery. Visualize a relaxing experience. I need to dream as if I'm very pleasant, I'm very calm, and I'm very happy. Imagine. Bring out an imaginary situation there from either your memory or your imagination. So that will also help you. And non-strenuous, slow yoga-like exercises can relax your muscles and make you feel much calmer. So practice these techniques daily. Learn to use them automatically when you are in a tense situation. And what is this cognitive restructuring? This means changing the way you think. The way we think has to change. Angry people tend to curse, swear, or speak in highly colorful terms that reflect their inner thoughts. When you're angry, your thinking can get very exaggerated and overly dramatic. Try replacing these thoughts with the more rational ones. And please don't say, oh, it's awful, it's terrible, or everything is ruined. Don't ever think of these words. Actually, tell yourself, like, it's frustrating, and it's understandable that I'm upset about it, but it's not the end of the world, and getting angry is not going to fix it anyhow. So this is what we need to tell ourselves, like, okay, it is frustrating, I can understand, it makes me upset, but this is not end of the world. I still have a lot of things to see, and by just getting angry, this is not going to fix any of my problems now. For instance, instead of this is very, very essential, we need to tell. And be careful of words when you use never or always when talking about yourself or someone else. So remind yourself that getting angry is not going to fix anything at all, and that won't make you feel better and may actually make you feel worse. And logic defeats anger, because anger, even when it is justified, can quickly become irrational. So use cold, hard logic on yourself. Remind yourself that the world is not out to get you. You are just experiencing some of the rough spots of daily life. This is not end of everything. You're just going through some rough spots of daily life. And angry people tend to demand things like fairness, appreciation, agreement, willingness to do things their way. Everyone wants these things, and we are all hurt and disappointed when we don't get them. That is what I said initially also. When you expect something and when you don't get that the way you want, the things don't happen, you get angry. That is what is the root cause of your anger. But angry people demand them. And when their demands aren't met, their disappointment becomes anger. That is very, very simple definition of anger. When you demand something and if it is not happening, then you get a disappointment, and that disappointment becomes anger. As part of their cognitive restructuring, angry people need to become aware of their demanding nature. So we need to have a self-analysis of what is that we demand. Is it reasonable? And translate their expectations into desires. And in other words, saying I would like something is healthier than saying I demand or I must have something. So that demanding attitude only gives a lot of problem. And when you are unable to get what you want, you will experience the normal reactions: frustration, disappointment, hurt, but not anger. Some angry people use this anger as a way to avoid feeling hurt, but that does not mean that the hurt goes away. That will not take your problems go away. Sometimes our anger and frustration are caused by very real and inescapable problems in our lives. Not all anger is misplaced, and often it's a healthy, natural response to these difficulties. And there is also a cultural belief that every problem has a solution. And it adds to our frustration to find out that this isn't always the case. The best attitude to bring to such a situation then is not to focus on finding the solution, but rather than how to handle and face the problem. So this is the very, very important thing which everybody has to learn right from the child. How to handle and face the problem, and make a plan and check your progress along the way. Resolve it. Give it your best, but also not to punish yourself if an answer does not come right away. If you can approach it with your best intentions and efforts and make a serious attempt to face it head on, you will be less likely to lose patience and fall into all or nothing thinking, even if the problem does not get solved right away. And next, very important, is better communication. Angry people tend to jump to and act on conclusion. They conclude, and some of those conclusions can be very inaccurate. Very, very inaccurate. We just assume things. Assumption leads to a lot of disappointments and also brings in a lot of anger. And the first thing to do if you are a heated discussion is slow down and think through your responses. Don't say the first thing that comes in your head, but slow down and think carefully about what you want to say. At the same time, listen carefully to what the other person is saying and take your time before answering. Listen to what is underlying the anger. For instance, you like a certain amount of freedom and personal space, and your significant other wants more connection and closeness. If he or she starts complaining about your activities, don't retaliate by painting your partner as a jailer or a warden or a strict officer or an albatross around your neck, because we keep thinking you're a Hitler. You always wanted to command. You always wanted me to do what you want. So that is how we portray somebody who is very strict. So it is natural to get defensive when you're criticized, but don't fight back. Instead, listen to what's underlying the words, the message that this person might feel neglected and unloved. They will have their own reasons. Everybody will have their own way of thinking, because they are looking from the other side. So we need to respect them, and it may take a lot of patient question on your part. And it may require some breathing space, but don't let your anger or a partner's let a discussion spin out of control. Stay cool. This is the best way to avoid anger. Keeping your cool can keep the situation from becoming a disastrous one. And ready to get your anger under control? Let me give you some anger management tips. First one is think before you speak. In the heat of moment, it's easy to say something you will later regret. Take a few moments to collect your thoughts before saying anything, and allow others involved in the situation to do the same. Once you're calm, express your anger. As soon as you are thinking clearly, express your frustration in an assertive but non-confrontational way. State your concerns and needs clearly and directly without hurting others or trying to control them. This is very essential. And get into some physical activity. Physical activity can help reduce stress, because the stress can cause you to become angry. So you need to reduce that. You need to think about the source of your anger. And if you feel your anger escalating, go for a brisk walk or run, or spend some time doing something which makes you feel happy. Because when you run or walk, blood circulation will be there, and blood circulation helps you to reduce your tension and stress. Take a time out. Timeouts aren't just for kids. Give yourself short breaks during times of the day that tend to be more stressful. A few moments of quiet time, listen to music, you dance yourself, talk to your friends, do something, cooking, eating, sleeping, whatever makes you happy. Relax yourself, come out of this stressful situation. You will feel better. And identify the possible solutions. Don't close your minds feeling that there's only one solution for any problem. Instead of focusing on what made you mad, work on resolving the issue at hand. Does your child's messy room drive you crazy? Close the door. Is your partner late for dinner every night? Schedule meals later in the evening, or agree to eat on your own a few times a week. Remind yourself that anger won't fix anything and only it will make it worse. Stick with I statements. To avoid criticizing or blaming, what happens when you keep placing a blame which might only increase tension? Use I statements to describe the problem. Be respectful and specific. For example, say, I'm upset that you left the table without offering to help me with the dishes. Instead, you never do any housework. There are two ways to address any issue. So this is one way, that if your husband is not helping you to wash or keep your dishes, you can say that I'm upset that you left the table without offering to help with the dishes. That message is different from saying you never do any housework. You never do any housework is blaming. Nobody likes blaming. So you have to change the way you talk and don't hold a grudge. Forgiveness is a powerful tool. If you allow anger and other negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings, you might find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness or sense of injustice. But if you can forgive someone who angered you, you might both learn from the situation and strengthen your relation. And use humor to release tension. Lightening up can help diffuse tension. Use humor to help you face what's making you angry and possibly any unrealistic expectations you have for how things should go. Avoid sarcasm. Please don't use sarcastic words. Avoid sarcasm, though it can hurt feelings and make things worse. And practice relaxation skills. Smile. My tool to relax is smiling. Always I'll try to smile. When you tamper flares, put relaxation skills to work. Practice deep breathing exercises. Imagine a relaxing scene or repeat a calming word or phrase such as take it easy. You might also listen to music, write in a journal, or do few yoga poses. Whatever it takes to encourage relaxation. Listen to some music. Talk to somebody whom you like, who will encourage you. And know when to seek help. Learning to control anger is a challenge for everyone at times. Seek help for anger issues. If your anger seems out of control, causes you to do things you regret or hurts those around you. So be cautious, because when you speak out something, people will remember and they will not forget. And it hurts people. It hurts people. When somebody is angry on us, whatever feelings we get, same thing others also get. So this is all about our anger management, and this is very essential for everybody. And mastering the art of anger management takes work, but the more you practice, the easier it will get. And the payoff is large. You will have good relationship. You will be happy. Your health will be in a good state Everything is going to be positive if you can control your anger and you know how to manage it, how to express it. Relax yourself, stay safe, live a very, very happy, peaceful life. Don't need to get angry at all. Express it in a different way. That's all. You can get angry, but don't shout. Don't punish your own self by expressing words in a very harsh way. Don't hurt anybody. So thank you so much. And I wish you all have enjoyed this webinar. And any of you working in some institutions or corporates, if you would like me to give a training on any of these skills, we have been doing some skills actually, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, anger management. So these are all very, very essential. I'm going to talk about critical thinking in future. So all these things are a very much needed skill in the industry. So if you need any training, please do reach me out. So thank you so much for attending the webinar. I'll meet you again the next webinar. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.